If 5 people get married, before you realize 3 or 4 will divorce, only 1 will survive. When I was looking at the statistics, some countries 60%, some countries 70%, some is hitting 80%. Identifying your spouse need and value it. If you say you love somebody, how do you protect what you love? By caring for it. You can't protect what you don't care for.
Women who want a good guy but want a bad guy at the same time. You get it? So when they are presented these two, they prefer the bad guy because he's naughty.
I've seen a lot of guys come and let's have sex. And if you are not coming, so I loved you. I really loved you. Please come and now. You tell a lady to stop wearing bikini. But he said I shouldn't wear bikini. Now I'll wear bikini to prove me. I'll wear it. A study has shown that a lot of young ladies leave loyal men for successful men. And now they want to make the successful men loyal. My dear, you never wanted a loyal man.
They want people to see them in a certain way for them to feel better.
Absolutely.
It's not because everything is rosy, everything is good. So when you have your small marriage in some small corner, value it.
Feelings do change. I would advise that you guys must come into agreement purpose. When the feelings is not there, you still work on the purpose.
Welcome to another episode of Prince Hamdan podcast. And today, as usual, I have my brother Ibrahim Yunus here. And we just want to talk. Ibrahim Yunus is more of a relationship kind of person. Also, even though he does finance and other stuff. But I think most of the time we have conversations on relationships and, marriage and all of those things. And today, one of the things that I've been thinking over the weeks is the rate of divorce in marriages, nowadays. And so I wanted us to just have a sit-down conversation about it, from the perspective of men and from the general perspective as to why these things are happening and the best way, we can minimize or even stop divorce. Because when divorce happens, a lot of things, just go wrong. Talking about broken home, the pain your children have to go through and a whole lot of other stuff. But if you are able to save the marriage, it helps a lot. But then sometimes too there are certain circumstances that makes it difficult. So I just want us to have a conversation about divorce and how to minimize it.
Oh, well, thank you very much. As usual, you are looking great.
You are looking amazing.
I will extend greetings to the whole team and the family. You guys are doing amazing.
Thank you.
I was counseling one guy like that, and he was telling me, I think it's from Wa.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was telling me how much impact he has received from the YouTube
channel.
Exactly. I think a lot of Northern youth, they are really into the work you guys are doing. And we are all a team.
Thank you very much.
And I believe Allah will surely make a way for us.
Inshallah.
Honestly, the rate at which divorce is occurring, my brother, is very, very... if you watch the statistics, it's really alarming. Like, if 5 people get married, before you realize 3 or 4 will divorce, only 1 will survive. Exactly. You see somebody getting married within 6 months. They are leaving the marriage. Just recently, a lady, 3 months, she packed and leave.
And I've even seen
it's scary.
With just a few weeks and
it's scary. It's very, very scary. I was like, wow. So when I was looking at the statistics, some countries 60%, some countries 70%, some is hitting 80%. Now, my worry is that I don't want it to become like a normal thing. It's good. Like a bad thing can be occurring, but once it becomes the norm, so you see nothing wrong with divorcing again.
Yes.
So it becomes the frequency. So that's my fear now, whereby it becomes like it's a normal thing to divorce. Then it loses that value there. Now there are few reasons that led to marriages not last. There are few reasons. The first one is this: people don't bring their full self into the relationship or marriage. According to the few studies I've done, people don't bring their full self into the relationship or marriage. Why? People are not presenting their real self into the relationship anymore. What they present to you is not who they really are. What they present to you is who they are or who they become after their last relationship with that last guy or with that last person. So the person doesn't come into the relationship with fresh trust, with fresh expectations. The person come with, okay, let me see whether you not hurt me like the way the other guy did. Because I don't want to ever experience what I experienced with the other guy. So we give 50%. And there's no great marriage. There's no marriage that have become successful by giving less than 100%. Everything great must be 100%, 100%. So whereby you give half of your leg while keeping the half, and you see, you cannot really love without being open to be hurt.
And I also think the situation whereby, I mean, now people think that, you know, when you marry, it's supposed to be 50-50.
Okay.
That's one of our challenges. In that sense, it means that at the point where the other party is not able to give his 50, then there leaves a vacuum.
That's
and
a
the
problem.
other person has issues with that. But then in marriage, you know, it's more of at a particular point in time, who is in the position to hold things down.
Absolutely.
Right? It turns. Maybe the next time it will be the other person who is sacrificing, doing all the necessary things for the marriage to work. As human beings, we go through challenges individually.
Absolutely.
So if you expect that because this person is not able to live up to their expectation, you will not live up to yours, then what happens? You get it? So that's why, for me, I feel that, at every point in time, as a couple, you need to know what is happening at the other end and how you can consolidate or how you can, bring the other person in to also, come around and
very, very true.
Make things work.
True.
Yeah.
That's very, very true. Another thing is that needs and value. So what you need, your spouse don't value that. So let's say as a lady, what you need is affection, attention, care. And you marry a man who doesn't value those things.
Yeah.
Definitely just a matter of time. Or maybe you are a guy who needs sex and you marry a woman who doesn't value sex. Trust me, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, there'll be issues.
You are a guy who need good food and you marry a woman who really doesn't pay attention to that. Yeah. So needs and value.
A woman who cannot cook.
So that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot of young ladies, young guys come to my office and I realize that this person needs, but the woman doesn't value it. Or this is what the woman needs, but this man doesn't value it. And if you don't value something, would you do it? So it's about identifying your spouse's need and value it. Okay, if you say you love somebody, how do you protect what you love? By caring for it. You can't protect what you don't care for. So and I've also realized there's ignorance about love in two ways. We think love is that feeling. So when we see that beautiful lady, her curve shapes, her buttocks, her breasts, we go, wow, I love this lady. Research has proven that feeling is a chemical reaction that changes every 5 seconds. So you see another lady and feel that same way. You see another one and feel that same way. You see another one and feel that same way. So what happened with the first one? So if you narrow love to feeling, just recently, I just witnessed a case. A guy picked a lady with a car. The lady said, I want to buy something here. So instead of him to just stop there, the lady would just cross and go in. But he said that no, that was before the marriage. He was in the feeling. That no. He went and turned the car, that he doesn't want her to suffer. Now fast forward, they are married 3 years. She's going somewhere. He just that you can go, please you can go. He went and dropped her. She said, what did I know? No. Now the feeling is no more there. Yeah. So I've seen that a lot of people, they confuse feelings with love. Trust me, part of love is a feeling. You must have that feeling. But to get to a point, the feeling will subside. And research has proven within 3 years. So once the feeling subsides, what comes in? The other way of ignorance of love is that love is not what you do for yourself. We have self-love, but that's not what we are talking of. Love is not what you do for yourself. Love is what you do for someone else. So if you tell a lady, I loved you, what it means is that you are willing to do certain things to make her happy, even if that's not what you want. And when a lady tell a guy, I loved you, Hakeem, or Abdul Basit, what it means is that, Abdul Basit, I'm willing to do certain things to make you happy, even if I don't feel comfortable with that. But I've seen a lot of guys come and let's have sex. And if you are not coming, so I loved you. I really loved you. Please come and have. So in that sense, for you, love is what the lady does for you. Or a lady is saying, I need ABCD. Send me this money. Send me this. Buy this for me. I loved you. Buy this for me. So I've seen these two ignorance whereby we just narrow love to only feelings. We look at her hips. We look at her buttocks. We got attracted. We get married. Now, after you've given birth 3 kids, the beauty is subsiding. What happened then? And I've also realized that we are not looking at purpose. A lot of guys or a lot of ladies are feeling lonely in their marriages because they marriage based on feeling, not on purpose. Trust me, we are all going somewhere. And you need a spouse who share that purpose. Now, if you go into the marriage because of a feeling, now this is a spouse who doesn't even support your purpose. So you play a solo game there. And we need each other to support each other. So these are the 2 areas I've seen we are having problem with love. When it comes to we narrow it to only feelings. And we see need love to be what the person does for us. I think love is what you do for someone else. For instance, I don't like washing dishes. Trust me, I don't like it. But if that is what communicate love to my wife, that is what will make her happy. It is, if I say I loved her, what it means that I'm willing to do that. Now, if she also knew what makes me happy, and just because she doesn't feel like doing it and says she will not do for me, I think that's unfair. Then why are we even in marriage? Now that led to competition or cooperation. Are you in competition with each other or you cooperate with one another? So let's say you realize that your spouse doesn't call you for a whole week. Then you complain. Dear, for the past week you didn't call me. So, I'm sorry. Just give me 10 minutes. I'll call you back. That's cooperation. But whereby you said, dear, 10, that's 1 week you didn't call me. Hey, you want to control me. You like disturbing. You are too needy. What is wrong with you? So that's wrong. This is a competitive guy. Now, you tell a lady to stop wearing bikini. But he said I shouldn't wear bikini. Now, I'll wear bikini to prove me. I'll wear it. The guy used to go out and come 7 p.m. And the lady said, don't go. But she said I shouldn't come 7 p.m. I'm going to come 1 p.m. Or 1 a.m. So when you do that, you are hurting each other. So you are competing against each other. Then why are people together? Because life in itself is hard. So when you people are doing like that, because when you love somebody, if they are hurt, you should feel hurt. But whereby you get joy by hurting the other person, I think that is very, very serious. Yeah. Another thing is that wanting what you are not. A lot of women want a man who is very spiritual, but she's not. A lot of guys, I want a right woman, but he's not right. Now, assuming we have two people, I'm a teacher, professionally trained, and the other is not a teacher, and we want to recruit a good teacher, the two of us will be able to select the best teacher.
Yeah, the trained one.
The one who is, okay, let's say I am very spiritual, you are not spiritual, and we are to choose a partner who is very spiritual.
Yeah,
who will know who is a spiritual. So anything you want and you are that thing, the first thing, it helps you with the selection. If I'm a professionally trained teacher, I will know who a real teacher is. If you are wanting something you are not, you'll be deceived. You are just going to be deceived flat. And 90% of success in marriage is who you marry. Is the selection time. Because you can't change anybody.
And I think that's where a lot of people make the mistakes. You see women who want a good guy, but want a bad guy at the same time. You get it. So when they are presented these two, they prefer the bad guy because he's naughty. He's but then the bad guy wouldn't be a responsible guy, right? The kind of guy you want to live forever with.
Yeah.
You'll be able to do the the naughty things, all right. Yeah. But what is the long game? Is he the kind of person you would want to be with for like the rest of your life? Even as you said earlier on, when you when you get to the stage where that chemical reaction of called love is no more there.
Yeah.
Is that the same person you see every day and want to live with?
Exactly.
You get it.
Exactly.
But a lot of the ladies have issues with the kind of guys they select, and then they'll come back and say all guys are the same.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get the point I'm trying to make.
So I'm very happy you made that statement. This is what happened. A study has shown that a lot of young ladies leave loyal men for successful men. Yeah. And now they want to make the successful men loyal. My dear, you never wanted a loyal man.
Many of them might have approached you and
you see, you are with a loyal man, you left him for a successful man. Now you want to tempt that successful man to be loyal. That's where the problem comes. At the end of the day, he'll beat you, he punish you. So as I was making this statement, 90% of success in marriage is from who you choose. Because you can't change somebody in marriage. You can't change somebody. So it's about your selection. So the best time, if you are waiting for the right person, how can I find the right person, become the right person? Why? It will help you to know who is a right person, or else you'll be deceived. Now, once you are something and you select right, there will be problems. According to the scripture, that there were two very loving people, very nice people. They were all building. One built on a sand, one built on a rocky, good foundation. A wind came, a heavy storm came. As to whether it's Satan that brought the storm or God, I'm not interested. A storm came. The one who built his own on the sand, he lost everything. But the one who built on the rocky ground, he still stick to it. So the foundation of the marriage is the selection time. Take your time, heal from your wound, heal from your insecurities, be the right person. It will help you select the right person. Then you guys can work together. But if you marry based on need, you'll be abused. If you are lacking something and you go in and marry because you want that person to come and fill it, that's a lot of work. So 90% of success in marriage is based on the spouse we pick, because we can't change any person. Now, another reason there's so much divorce nowadays is that it's social media and movies, entertainment. I watched a movie on Ini Edo. The guy was a womanizer until he met Ini. Ini Edo, because of the way he loves Ini, he changed. Now, when they got married, the movie ended. But that's not the end. The marriage, that's the beginning. 3 years into the marriage, whether the guy will go back or not. But the movie will not show you. Now, another woman came to me. I said, this man, that the guy has started showing some sign, but she knows that she can change him. I said, what do you mean? That she watched Ini Edo movie. Any laugh was able to change. I said, do you know the number of people that scripted that movie? Like, we watch a movie, we don't know it's a scripted things. Another guy a guy visited his girlfriend, not knowing the lady watched a telenovela movie. When the boyfriend visited the lady, when he was leaving, he kissed her. Now this guy, out of respect, because we are still dating, and maybe his Islamically morals, he visited her, they talked when they were leaving. He didn't kiss her, he left. The lady called him and said, Hassan, I watched a movie. When the boyfriend was leaving, he kissed the lady. You didn't kiss me. Hassan just looked at her quiet, and he was quiet. He didn't say anything. Now, me personally, me and my wife, I was leaving to work, and I picked my motor. I was going. So my wife came out, opened the gate, looking at me. Not knowing she watched a movie. When the guy was leaving, he turned and said hi to the lady. I never watched that movie. Number two, nothing was scripted to me. And you don't know what I was focused chasing. So I was in the workplace. My wife called me. That do I know that when I was leaving, she came outside looking at me, and I never even tend to say to do her bye bye. I said, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's it. So it's like we watch certain movies, we watch certain telenovelas, and we create certain imaginary expectations, and then we want those things to be happening, and that's something very important. Another thing is lose of respect. When you lose respect for each other, there's no more marriage. You people can have so many problems, fight, but if there's still respect, inshallah, you respect her, she respects you, it will go well. But immediately you lose that respect. So I always encourage individuals, live a life to always be respected.
No, but that's one of the challenges I see, because you see people get married, and because they are married, they feel that now, like, I don't know if you get the point.
Yes, complacency.
They respect people outside their marriage than they respect themselves within their marriage.
Very
you get
sad.
it? Like, for example, let's say the lady is older than you, or the guy is older than you. If you see him outside without being in the marriage, you respect him.
Yes.
You show him,
Yes.
Respect.
Yeah.
But why is it that when you get into marriage, now because somebody married you, it doesn't mean that, you cannot respect the person because,
it's very sad.
the person is now your husband or your wife.
It's very sad. Look, 100% of marriages that are successful is built on trust and respect. Trust, respect, and safety. Immediately, sometimes I was asking the woman, assuming you are working in a company and you lose respect for the manager, can you still be working in the company? They said no. Once you lose respect for somebody, you lose even energy to put in any effort anymore. It loses, your desire to do something goes off. So our women must live a life that men to always respect them. And our men too must live a life for the women to respect them. Another thing is trust. A lot of people are afraid of trusting themselves to their spouse. Another is also safety. Safety to share who you are. They are afraid if I share who my vulnerability to you, you take advantage of me, or you will not respect me. You see, if I share my faults to you, my flaws to you, you will not respect me. Another thing is money. When a woman starts making a lot of money, she quickly loses respect for the man. Like she feels like the man is really not needed. I don't need him like that. But when a woman really needs you, it's another level. But once she start making money, and it's the same thing with the men too. Some men too, when they start making money, their women too cannot understand them anymore. Another thing, when a guy loses his job, currently there's a case I'm counseling. The guy loses the job. Within some few years, the lady left him. She left. She left with the children as well. The guy is very frustrated. When a man loses his job, it takes few ladies to stay. So a lot of divorces are occurring because the guy loses the job. But I've seen a lot of where the ladies lose their job and the guys still take care of.
No, and you see, sometimes when we're having some of these conversations, we have to always put it in context.
Very important.
Of where we find ourselves.
Very important.
In Africa, we all know that it is the responsibility of the man to take care of their home financially.
Yeah.
So that's why when a woman is not even working, a man has no challenge.
Yeah.
Taking care of her. But if it is the other way around, you are supposed to take care of me. Now you don't have anything. So how am I going to be taken care of? You get it. But then it's also novel for a woman to see the situation and be able to come in. That is, if you have the ability to do that. To a point where your husband can come back to his feet, and be able to. And such men usually are very, they take you as their trophy when you are able to hold them down and still not go out there to sell them out to your friends. Disrespect him to your friends and all of that. And unfortunately, that's what happens most of the time. Exactly. Once a woman is taking care of the house, like it's very hard for the man. You see, sometimes most of the men don't allow their women to take care of them. That trust is not there because they feel that if they allow that, at the end of the day, they'll go out like, their story will be, shared to their friends, and, it will become a whole, big issue and all of that.
So these are some of the reasons why the marriages don't last anymore. Immediately the man loses his job. So that's a big thing. But there was a point you last made. I was listening to our video. You made a very profound statement. A man respects a woman who was part of a struggle for success.
Of course.
And I just saw it live. When a woman is part of a man's success,
you can't,
it's another level.
If he jokes, God will deal with him.
Yeah, it's another level. Now we have different kinds of marriages. From my research work, I think I've been to this industry for how many years now? Actually, it should be 9-10 years. Yeah. Counseling marriages, I've realized that not all marriages are the same. We have marriages where the two are colleagues, age mate, maybe the guy is 34, the lady is 32. Income-wise, they are equally earning the same amount. So that's a different kind of marriage. And we have another type of marriage whereby the man is very older, is, let's say, 40 or 50 years, the lady is 23 years, and is the man who have all the income. The lady doesn't even work. That's another form of marriage. So if you pick the advice from the colleague things and put it here, it won't work. It's not going to work. There's another one whereby it's the lady who is older. She even earns more than the man. So I've come to realize that when marriage issue is presented to me, I try to look at what are the individuals involved. So if you are an elderly, 50 years, you married 23-year young lady, she's not working, you are taking care of everything. Now the lady see another marriage whereby the two couples are colleagues, they earn the same income. Then she saw what the man is doing for the wife, and she expects her husband to do the same thing. I think we are being unfair here. We are being unfair here because the first marriage whereby is the man and the woman is 50-50, she earns, he earns, they are all age mates. How they relate with it, the dynamics there is totally different. It's totally different because he doesn't cover 100% of the woman things. So he knows that, and he's a wise guy. Since I don't cover 100%, let me also assist her in what? In the chores. So your man cover everything. And secondly, he's elder than you. So if you expect him to act the way this guy is doing, it's going to be, because there's a recent issue counseling I'm solving. The woman, anytime she's at the store, she expects the husband, who is 40-something, 50 years, to come and be playing like the other one she has saw. Both of them are colleagues. In their store, they joke together. The guy can even dance and do. She expects her guy to die. You don't do these things for me, so I don't feel love.
And for me, I don't even think the challenge should even be about the age. It's about the personality you are married to.
Yeah.
Is that his strength? Because everybody has their strengths and their weakness. There are some men, they are not just like, that outgoing, like, playing with my wife and even in public. There are some men who are like that. Exactly. So if you know your husband and you went and married him like that, you don't expect him to come and be doing the things that he's not, used to doing. You get the point. So true. I think most of the time, we always want to get into places we are not, because you knew this man and you loved him for who he was and you married him. So why are you looking for something different from him? Right? So like what I'm trying to say is that it is difficult when you look at or you try to compare your marriage with somebody's marriage.
Yeah.
Because like you don't know what is going on in their marriage. Maybe you are just seeing what is in public.
Exactly.
There might be a lot of other things that you are not seeing. You get it? So like every marriage works within like the context of the two of you.
That's very powerful.
You look at your partner his weakness, his strength. That he also looks at you, your strength, your weakness, and you try to work within that range.
Yeah.
Not bringing in somebody else's strength to add it to your husband's
weakness,
weight that you get it. He won't be able to do it, and that will be how do you call it, an issue to cause, that can cause you a lot of discontent and make you feel bad, because your expectation when you start to compare becomes higher than what your husband can deliver. So at the end of the day, you are going to have issues.
Another reason for divorce is sexual unfulfillment. But before I come to that, one of the complaints some ladies told me about just this issue you are saying is that at the beginning, the man tried to act like the other guy until he now married her. He now wanted to fall back to who he is. So you are not a younger man, but because you wanted this lady, you were acting like that. So the lady concluded, okay,
but
he can do those things.
If you are like, if you know what you want, you know he's faking it.
Well,
if you know what you want,
I'm getting
like
you.
When something is authentic and real. I know you didn't just see the person and you went to marry. Like you see it, like as in this guy is just trying hard. But this is not who he really is.
So it depends the state the lady is. If she's in a state of need, she won't see it.
So that is the problem.
She won't see it.
That is the problem.
Or even if she sees it, a lot of ladies see red flags. They'll ignore because of their need. So anybody going into relationship based on need, you'll be abused. I've seen it live. You'll be abused. It's very important. And guys too are saying at the beginning the lady will do certain things for them. Now after he married her 3 years, she start to act a certain way. So I would advise the guys, please just be real with her. If she's the one, good. If she's not, that's okay. And I would advise the ladies too, please don't deceive the men. If you are not something, don't try to be it. Don't deceive us. Just be honest. If I'm really
that
for
is,
you,
that is actually for their own good, because if you want to actually marry for a long time, the person has to know like who you really are.
That's very
even
important.
in your worst state. They have to see that before getting into it. And if they can handle it, that when you get into the marriage and you fall back to some of these things, it won't be a big issue because you already know. Right. But one of the things is I also feel is that, see, sometimes people do very stupid things and want to justify them. You get it? By trying to say that if you really love me, this you should allow me to, be myself. There are certain things that are like really very lame and stupid. It doesn't matter whether it's love or not. So when you feel that because somebody loves you, you can go to any extent and do certain things. At the end of the day, the person might see you differently.
It causes problems.
Exactly.
It causes
exactly.
problems.
So in as much as you want to be you, also think about the other person, because now we live in a very selfish world where everybody is thinking about themselves first. But love is about the other person first.
Exactly. Now, when you make the other happy,
you automatically that person happy. Will also want you to be happy.
Anytime my wife makes me happy,
you want to do something. Exactly.
Anytime I makes her happy, I get a dividend.
And you see, that's why, like, in the scripture, there's a lot of would I say admonishment to women to respect their husbands, to treat their husbands like kings, because when you do that, what comes in return, like it's even more than what you would expect.
You get it.
But when you start to feel that, who is he? Like, why should I? At the end of the day, what is garbage in, garbage out?
Exactly.
That attitude you are putting in is the same attitude you get from him.
The funny thing is, there's another lady saying, "I wish you were my man."
Exactly.
I wish you were my lady.
Exactly. So if you realize, women who are able to treat their husbands with like, not even, sometimes it's just the little things, like let him feel that like he's the man of your dreams. Even if you don't even like, if that is not in your heart, but you making him feel that changes everything. You see, there's a lot of admonishment towards women because men are stupid.
Yeah.
When it comes to relationship situations,
Yeah.
a man can go to any extent
Yeah.
to do something for a woman,
Yeah.
just because of how you make him feel.
Exactly. That's very true.
But women are a lot more smarter when it comes to,
Exactly.
relationships and all of that.
For them, it's like it's inbuilt in them.
Exactly.
Relationship skills,
Exactly.
ladies have it. But
Exactly.
with that kind of making a man feel like he's the king and other things, the easiest way to do that is to learn how to suggest instead of instruct.
Instruct, yeah.
A guy, no man want to be instructed.
Yeah. And that is understanding who a man really is.
Good. A man hate to be instructed. You suggest to him, honey, suggest. And you can control a man.
Oh my goodness. That reminds me of a video I saw. A woman, I think she's a very popular, in the Western world,
Okay.
where she was counseling a woman.
Okay.
They had an issue because it's like the husband had, some other children before they got into the marriage.
Okay.
So it's like those kids are actually, giving the new wife problems.
Okay.
So in dealing with it, this woman, the way she speaks to the husband doesn't make the husband, give her a listening ear. Because she talks as though the children are, he's not the way she puts it
Very disrespectful.
very disrespectful, right? And the woman just gave an example. She told her to stop, that she should watch what she's going to do. She went and sat by the husband, tapped the shoulder, and said, "Honey, you see, this issue of your children, I think what we can do to make them better husbands or better men is this and that. So I think I would like you to give it, a thought, and let's see how we can." The man responded immediately, and she told her, "This is how to talk to your man."
Most of women here don't know how to.
This is how to talk to your man.
They instruct.
And you see, we've taken this thing of gender equality, gender,
very sad.
to an extent whereby some of these petty things,
it's very sad.
It becomes too difficult for you to do because of pride.
Yeah.
Right? And in a marriage, there's no equality.
Do you know this shirt I'm wearing is my woman? She just suggested to me. You see, the best way to control a man is through suggestion, not instruction. A lot of women really want their men to change, but they are doing that through instruction.
The wrong way, yeah.
Honey, don't you think you should wear this shirt? Wouldn't it be nice?
To look nice on you.
So, wow. But
whether
today
it's nice or not,
you must wear this shirt. Today you must wear. I must what? I must what? So now you are challenging me. So it's an opportunity. All the young ladies watching us, learn to suggest to your guys.
That's just
and give him the free will to love you. Let him love you based on because once you do that, you see love you never thought your man could provide.
Yeah.
Now back to the sex part. But another thing is the family pressure. I've seen that when young ladies are growing to a particular age, when they immediately attend wedding, they say, "When are we coming to your own? When would we eat your rice too?" So when they start saying that, it put pressure on these young ladies. So they see red flags. They just want to marry to play. So recently there's a lady, she married, she's from a particular country. She's a client currently, African country. She married this man, he got her pregnant and just left. Her spirit and intuition told her not to marry the guy, but family pressure, you are aging, all your younger ones are married. She went in and married that guy. Today she has regretted. That's 4 years now with the kid. The man is not in the child's life. She's the one struggling with this child. She said, Yunus, I asked her, so what are your lessons? That if I'm not comfortable with something, nobody can force me to do it again. And that I never knew it's important for a man to be in his children's life. But my experience with my man has taught me, my next marriage, I want my man to be in the life of my children. And said that the third one, she was waiting for a man to make her happy. But she has to be happy for herself. She won't wait for anybody to make her happy. That because she bring herself into the marriage, you know. The lady really spoke. So family pressure. When are you getting my lady just dress and attend a wedding? And we've eaten your. When are we coming to eat your rice? The day you cook the rice, I will eat. Let's not put so much pressure there. Another thing is teachable. This spouse, no, but you see, I focus on progression, not perfection. So definitely your spouse is not perfect, but he must be open to teachability. Is she open to be taught? Is he open to be teachable? So I've realized that this is what my mentor stated. That really touches me. I said when I come, inshallah, I'll read it. It's about, okay, if somebody sees you making an effort, you are trying. Research has proven the ability to wait for you, give you grace is high than you saying, me, this is who I am. Nobody is perfect. So when I'm complaining of a particular problem and I see you at least making an effort, just seeing that give me more patience to wait on you. But whereby you say, for me, I'm not going to change. This is who I am. There's nothing I'm going to do. My dear, you are not perfect. We're all progression. So if you want people to kind of have that grace to stay in the marriage with you, you must be teachable. You must be teachable. Once you said, for me, nothing can change me, that's where the problem will come. Now, another thing that really causes divorce nowadays is sexual mismatch. Maybe he needs sex, she doesn't value sex. He comes back, he touches me, I'm tired. Or maybe the lady rather loves the sex every day. The guy, maybe his work cannot permit him to have that sexual fulfillment with her. So a lady could be in a good place. There's cars, there's houses, everything. But she just doesn't get that sexual presence with the guy. Or the guy too can be with a lady he truly loves. But just because the way she's treating him sexually, it can end the relationship. And sex is such that when you don't get it, it looks very big. It's when you start getting it, it looks minimal. So sexual mismatch is also another thing. Another thing is communication. So a lot of people, so in fact, this is number one, communication. And I realize that most of our episodes, you always stress on how we communicate. It's very important. A lot of people don't know how to communicate. Definitely you'll be hurt. But those that are able to save their marriage, live 50, 60 years, it's not because their partner don't hurt each other. It's how they're able to communicate that hurt and resolve it. So I must advise everybody, if you want to maintain healthy relationship, you must learn communication, your tone. So there's a clear example you give when the lady tapped the man's shoulder, the next was the toning. Her tone changed. But his wife was shouting. She was shouting. That's very disrespectful. It will just enter here and go here. So communication. Another thing is keeping things. So that lady, the man is from another country. One thing she learned was that she was keeping things. That's so now she will share it. She will learn communication, how to communicate. So let's not keep things. Let's share how we feel to the person. It's very, very important. So I think another thing is sharing your things on social media. It attracts evil eye. Sharing your marriages on social media. It has brought a lot of problems. A lady just got married. She's sharing it, showing some of the things she does and other things. And today she's no more with the person.
And I even think taking social media serious is even more like of a deal breaker or a marriage breaker. You see a couple, they post, a lot of, how do you call it? Things that makes you feel that is their life. A lot of these people who just post on social media just to feel better because a lot of things are not working.
Yeah.
They will never show you those moments where things are, because they find themselves in that position, they want people to see them in a certain way for them to feel better.
Absolutely.
It's not because everything is rosy, everything is good.
Exactly.
So when you have your small marriage in some small corner, value it and make sure you don't listen to a lot of these things that are being posted. People like go to that like extent just for people to see them and feel that
it's very sad.
Their marriage is all.
It's very sad.
And the next few months they are divorced.
Exactly.
So if you are following such people, at the end of the day, you get yourself
in fact,
into.
It's so risky that there was one funeral I attended. The woman was crying. She just lost her son. I think the son won something, and she just posted it. The son was going for that particular thing. He had an accident and died. After everything she said, that is like, I killed my son. There are some mothers, their child just come and said, I had an interview. Then she'll call everybody. Keep it secret. We're not saying don't post on social media. But you don't post everything. So that's the advantage of widows doing purpose. We only post purpose things. But somebody who doesn't have a purpose, he posts things he shouldn't post. Post your purpose, your calling. So I went for a book lunch, ABC book lunch. They took a nice picture. I had a caption, I posted. You can't hate me. It's a purpose I'm posting there. But you don't have a purpose. You go to a particular place, then you take a picture and share it. People now know your secret. So I was listening to Dr. Eric Thomas that nobody knows certain thing he has. He will never post them. He will only post his work. Read and get help. But what is happening in him is none of your business. So I think these are marriages don't last. The truth is that marriages don't last. That's the truth, especially in this our current times. And some of the reasons why the marriages don't last is that people don't bring their full self into the marriage, which is very, very sad, because if you don't bring your full self into the marriage, there's no way the marriages is going to really succeed, because you lose that authenticity. So you come into the relationship not with fresh trust, not with fresh expectations, and you don't even assume the best in the marriage. You come into the marriage not assuming the best. So this is what you do. You came in like that I came to you like maybe you won't hurt me like the other person did. And so I'm going to give you this much because I don't ever want you to actually hurt me to that level again. And you can't open to love when you are close to something. So I've seen a lot of people don't give in their best. I'm wrapping up like that. And I think the second thing also was need and value. Your needs are not valued by your spouse. So I'll advise everybody into the marriage, currently listening, sit with your spouse. My dear, what are your needs? Try to value them for her. You too, my husband, what are your needs? List them and let her value it, because we do the things we value, which is very, very important. And I think another thing is wanting something which you are not. You can only attract who you are. So if you want a spiritual, most of the ladies I met, they all want a man who is spiritual. But when you ask them to be spiritual, that's a problem. The advantage of you becoming spiritual is that it helps you select the real spiritual person. But once you don't want to become what you want to see in another person, you'll be deceived. You'll be deceived. That's very, very important. And I also, instead of loving people because of feelings do change. I would advise that you guys must come into agreement. Purpose. When the feelings is not there, you still work on the purpose. The purpose will drive the relationship. Competition and cooperation. Stop unnecessary competition between each other. You people should cooperate. Competing, another thing is disrespect. Let's not lose respect for each other. Just because you marry me doesn't mean you should treat others nice and treat me like anything. Right now, if you're in trouble, which of these people you respect will be there for you? Do you know the number of shit I take from you? and yet you don't want to respect, you don't want to value me. Those people you value, how much weight do they have for you? If they really loved you, why didn't they marry you? So that's misplaced priority of love. Exactly. I think 90% of success depends on who you choose, because you can't really change anybody in marriage. If you choose right, problem will come. Both of you will solve it. But if you choose wrong, it's not going to help you. Yeah.
And for me, I think one of the issues a lot of marriages should work on is leadership. There's no successful organization without leadership.
Very important.
And the marriage is one of them. You have to be clear that there is leadership in your home. It's for a reason that every organization has a head and has, deputies and whatever. They could say, okay, all of you are the heads of the organization. You get it. But in order for there to be structure, in order for there to be, for things to work, there has to be that leadership.
Yeah. And each of these positions, they all perform their role.
A different role.
Yeah.
Right? And everybody know their role.
Yeah.
And what they are supposed to do.
It's the same in the marriage.
Exactly. So I think we should take leadership very seriously.
Yeah.
If the man is the leader, allow him to lead.
Yeah.
Wherever or what position the woman has in the house, allow her to handle her position or handle your position very well.
Yeah.
Because if each and every one of you is not there, the marriage is not there anymore.
Yeah.
So each and every one of you, the role you play is significant. No role is bigger than the other or superior than the other.
Exactly.
All the roles are important.
And some of these roles are chosen to us by God.
Exactly.
It's not like I got up and said I want that.
Exactly.
I never made myself a male.
And God did that because he made us in a certain way.
Exactly.
God made a man in a certain way for some reasons.
Exactly.
And God made a woman in a certain way for some reasons.
Exactly.
God could have decided to make all of us women.
Exactly.
Or decided to make all of us men.
Absolutely.
So why is it that some are men and some are women? It means that we have different responsibilities and different roles to play wherever we find ourselves. So I think it's one of the things that people who are married should take serious.
Yeah.
Don't feel that, well, because they say we are equal.
Yeah.
Your husband takes, or you wouldn't give him that leadership role. You allow him to perform that leadership role. He's given as the head of your family. Because at the end of the day, it makes it makes things not work. Mm-hmm. It makes things not work. Mm-hmm. You get it? Because if there is a leader who don't have the support of his subordinates, he's not going, or his his team. He won't be able to work.
You know one funny thing? It is innate in a woman to want to be led.
And
it's innate in a woman to want to be led.
Now I've seen a lot of women who, will come out and say all of these things and say, for them, they want a man to lead. There are a lot of them.
Yeah, it's innate.
It's innate. That's how,
especially when she really loves you and you are also doing your best. Oh, wow. And all the successful marriages, 80-90% is the man who is leading. All the marriages, the woman who is leading. I don't know, the guy who end up picking a younger lady and leave that lady. Yeah, so the leadership is there. Once a woman... Oh, it's so beautiful to find a woman respecting the leadership
of her husband.
Oh, wow.
It works.
She knows her role. The man, it's a beautiful caption. And the kiss
automatically works.
Oh, we didn't talk about negative effects of divorce on the case.
I think I mentioned it on the surface.
But I didn't make my research. It affects the children, my brother. Yeah. It affects both, but the maximum people it affects is the case. And one of the effects is you see that some of these kids they feel not enough, they feel not wanted, they feel not lucky, they feel neglected. I I've realized that when a man loves a woman, one way to show it is through the kiss. So when you people are still married and the man is taking good care of the kid, you might think he loves the kid more than you. Not necessarily. He loves both of you, but anytime both of you now divorce and the kid are with you, he will still do his best, but not compared to when you people were together. Yeah, so as for divorce, it really affects the kids. Some become drunkards, weed smokers, thieves, and other things. It's very unfortunate.
Okay, it's been an interesting conversation, and I think this will help one or two people to have a better marriage and live. I mean, happy.
I wanted to say something. Status in the world is not defined by what work we do, but by how well we do what we do. It doesn't matter what we are doing. Whatever we do, we should give it our all, and everyone around us should benefit from it. And we should be givers in life. We shouldn't wait for people to show us love. We should give love first. And we should also remember what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, that la yu'minu ahadukum hatta yuhibba li akhihi ma yuhibba li nafsihi. That none of us is truly a believer until we wish for our brother what we wish ourselves. We wish ourselves the best and wish all our audience to the best. And I wanted to touch on the YouTube, my YouTube, Ibrahim Yunus. Those of you who want to get another content from Prince Hamdan Studio, you can search for Ibrahim Yunus. You get some of the work we do. Facebook to is Ibrahim Yunus. TikTok to is Ibrahim Yunus. Basically, these are the few things I want to do.
So guys, go subscribe to his channel and also follow his pages on all social media platforms. He actually have more content aside what we do here, so you definitely benefit a lot from subscribing and following his channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next episode. We are